Welcome to U.S. History Week 8. Let's take a look at what you should be doing for the week. You should look over all the work for the week and don't forget to check your grades. Look for those missing assignments and just see how you're doing. Alright, so for this week, we are beginning Unit 2 or 4, depending on how you look at it, but we're looking at Reconstruction. So you should have finished all your Civil War work by now. Alright, so begin with the goals page and move on to day 1. You may want to take a peek at the quiz so that you know what to look out for. In day 2, you will find some videos on a few amendments and the weekly discussion. In day 3, you will find some videos on people involved with Reconstruction. Reflect back on what you have learned by submitting your weekly reflection. Just a couple more videos to sum things up in day 4. If you are feeling ready, take the quiz. There's a lot of videos, not quite finished yet, that's okay, but stay on track, finish up today, and take the quiz so you can enjoy the weekend. Alright, so let's look at what the materials look like. Alright, so course content. Unit 4, Reconstruction. Real quick, let's take a peek at last week. If you could not find the pathways, that means you are not going through the folders because it was in the first page of last week. Right there. Pathway number 1. Alright, so anyways, back to the next unit. Reconstruction. Week 1 or week 8. Objectives and goals. So some vocabulary that you'll be looking at. The accomplishments of limits and failures of Reconstruction. Good stuff like that. Your goal for this week is to be able to compare and contrast the different plans for Reconstruction and explain which was enacted. We hit next. Takes us to day 1. What was Reconstruction? Read over this. And then there is a video at the end. Basically talking about the same thing. Then look at this next page, Really Free, talking about the black codes which identified African Americans as a separate class and a separate citizen, making it difficult for them to vote. On Tuesday, move on to day 2. First, an overview of the 3 amendments. So we got a video, and then each of the amendments defined. The 13th Amendment, if you'd rather read about it, go ahead and click there. Or if you'd actually like to read the actual text, here's a video describing the 14th Amendment. Again, the context or the actual amendment, if you'd rather read it. 15th Amendment. Same thing down here with links towards the reading. Alright, so your discussion for this week is to think back about G. Persia, which we talked about in week 2. And we often know that situations and issues have elements in many different aspects of culture. Can you separate out the politics from the economics? Can you separate social issues from art? Not usually. So with that in mind, let's try to separate out the elements of culture during Reconstruction after the Civil War. If you can't remember what G. Persia stands for, geography, politics, economics, religion, society, intellect, and arts, click back on this link and it should take you to week 2. Choose one of the elements of culture to discuss, so geography, politics, economics, so on, and how it needed to be addressed after the Civil War or how it was impacted or changed by the Civil War. Please make sure to comment on at least 2 other students' posts. The more participation you complete, the better. but not just I agree or good job. Back up your opinions with facts. See the rubric below to know how I will be grading your discussion. Make sure you read it closely to see how you will be graded. So, a little redundant there. Alright, so to get full credit, excellent initial post is of excellent quality. Student references very specific details and quotes as evidence. Outside links and or citations are included. So it would be like added information, doing extra study. 5 sentences, at least, to get full credit. 4 sentences is going to get you a little bit less. To get full credit on your replies, you need to respond to at least 2 other students. Your responses take the discussion deeper by asking questions, challenging ideas, or introducing new topics, or including quotes to support your opinions, and should be at least 4 sentences long. Make sure you are proofreading, that any errors do not distract from the reading. After that is day 3, and we'll look a little bit about the presidents during Reconstruction. There's Andrew Johnson. Again, there's a video, but I've also provided some links if you prefer to read. And then we learned a little bit about the Tenure of Office Act and his impeachment. And then Ulysses S. Grant. Look for these links if you would like to read. After you read and or watch the video about Rutherford B. Hayes, you can move on to this week's reflection. One of your essential questions for this unit is, how do decisions and actions impact society? So let's apply this question to what you learned this week. Who made a decision that impacted society during construction? You can use a decision that was made by one person or by a group, like Congress, for instance. Be sure to include what the decision was and why it was made, and give specific examples about society and how it has changed or been impacted by this decision. Please make sure that you write a nice paragraph of about 100 words. Alright, so then for day 4, we have the end of Reconstruction. Look at the groups that took over. What happened to African American rights? What about the soldiers? So look through those questions and listen to John Green answer some of those questions. And then learn about the Compromise of 1877. Here's a link if you would like to read the full story with a video. And then you can take the quiz. Remember, you have 3 attempts. One is to look at the beginning of the week so that you know what to expect. The other 2 are to give you 2 chances if you don't like your score the second time you take it, or the second time you open it. And that should be the end of this week. If you have any questions, please make sure to email me or call me. If you're turning in late work, please make sure you are filling out the form so that I remember to change your grade. Alright, if you are coming to campus on Wednesday, I will see you then. Have a great week.